Hello, we are live. It is time for another Facebook Live. And as I am waiting for you guys to hop on, I wanted to go ahead and give you a few quotes from billionaire Mark Cuban. Because sometimes we, as entrepreneurs, we need extra inspiration, and we want the inspiration to come from people who have been there before, people who have done it. So I'm going to give you these quotes as you guys are popping on. I hope you're doing fantastic today. It's already Thursday. It's crazy how fast the weeks we're going into March. But anyway, so I'm going to give you some inspiration right now. So the first quote is, "Don't start a company unless it's an obsession and something you love. If you have an exit strategy, it's not an obsession." Another quote from Mark Cuban. "What I've learned in these 11 years," hey Sheila, "what I've learned in these 11 years is you got to stay focused and believe in yourself and trust your own ability and judgment." Another quote from Mark Cuban. "It comes down to finding something you love to do and then just try and be great at it." And the last one that I want to quote from Mark Cuban is, "It's hard not to fool yourself. Everyone tells you how they're going to be special, but few do the work to get there. Do the work." And, again, as we talk, week in and week out about different strategies and things that will help you in your business, it all comes down to doing the work. And I see this way too much in my businesses and, people that I'm dealing with, that they're all like hyped up, they get excited, they start a course or they start a project, and then they lose interest. And that's why as entrepreneurs and creators, we have to really stay focused on our ultimate goal, whether that is to quit your day job. Let that goal be burning inside of you like a fire, that you are like, okay, that is it. There is no excuses. I am going to put my nose to the grindstone, and I am going to get hustling, and I'm going to do what it takes. And I'm going to stay focused. And one more thing before we get into the content. Don't chase shiny objects. Now, this is really hard. I mean, I am very ADD when it comes to business. And I multitask. I have several businesses and I'm constantly multitasking, and I'm also constantly listening to podcasts for inspiration. However, if you're a new entrepreneur, what is going to happen is that all of a sudden you're chasing this person, then you're chasing another strategy, and then another strategy, and then you're all confused. So what my suggestion would be is to get started with one strategy, follow it through. Listen, yes, absolutely listen and get inspiration from other entrepreneurs, but try not to go down those roads of, oh my gosh, this one's got the answer, this one's got the answer, this one's got the answer, because everyone may have the answer, but they're just going to give it to you in different forms. So that's just my little tip of the day as an entrepreneur, talking to another entrepreneur, and also from a lot of experience over the years. Remember, I'm here to help you guys, to help you succeed, and to answer any questions that you may have. So let's get into the content. So today is the last week of the 4 weeks that we broke down the 4 parts of your creative business. So I have on my little handy, small, little tiny board here. So we talked about in week 1, your product. Week 2, we went into branding. Week 3, marketing. And today we're going to talk about the most important part of your business, which maybe you have guessed it or not, but it's sales. Sales, and how, if we don't have sales, we don't have a business. Let's think about it this way. We can have the most amazing product. You can have a huge email list. You can be all over social networks. You can have press. But if you don't have sales, you don't have a business. So how are we going to get more sales, more eyes on our products, on our Etsy shop? Well, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of strategies. So remember, when you focus on one thing, focus on it. When you master it, you can start adding other strategies. But another problem I see, another very common problem I see with entrepreneurs is that they're trying so many ways to get out there, they get burnt out, and they don't have anything that has traction. So you want to get traction first and then start adding later. So think of it as like just those building blocks that are necessary to start your business. And once you are established, then you can start adding the building blocks. And of course, I'm talking as like a solopreneur. If you've got a team behind you, if you've got lots of, revenue and you have things already going on, it's okay to to be exploding in the market. But I'm talking about the solo entrepreneur. So of course you can pay for ads. I mean, obviously advertising is always available, but the problem with advertising is that it's really expensive, number one. And number two, you've got to do a lot of testing to see what works. And that takes time. And we sometimes we want to see results coming in like smoothly, quickly. And of course, advertising can do that for you. But if you're stuck without the funds to do it, we're going to talk about some other options. But first I want to talk about 3 mistakes that I see many Etsy sellers making when it comes to selling. So the first mistake that I see is that Etsy sellers are relying completely on Etsy as their marketing, as their generation for leads. And this is a huge problem because Etsy is constantly changing. I've even noticed this week my sales have dropped. Now again, I am putting all my energy into my new business, so I know the reasons why my sales are dropping. But they could be messing around with that algorithm again, and all of a sudden everything's changed. So that is a huge mistake, and believe me, I see many Etsy sellers doing it. They just put up their items and they wait for Etsy to bring in the sales, and then they wonder why they're not succeeding. But you guys are different because you are here, like I said in last week, you're educating yourself on what not to do and other steps that can help you grow your business. So that's a no-no. Number 2, from number 1, we lead into number 2, which is build your list. There is not one person out there that is a marketer, internet marketer, that will say, oh, you don't need an email list. Go to any of the top marketers, any of the top performer, anyone that is not already really established, even established companies use email. And email is by far still the way to connect with your customers. So if you don't have an email list, you need to get it up and running ASAP. And again, we're not talking today about strategies getting your email list, but that's a whole nother FaceTime video. But if you have your email list, how are you going to start nurturing that list? What are you doing to, even if you have a small list under 100 people, believe it or not, you can really start connecting and getting to know your customers, and this is going to help you with your market research. Number 3, inconsistency. Inconsistency is the killer of business. If there's anything that you get from this video besides your email list, because I'll always drill that into you, it's inconsistency. People want people that are showing up on a consistent basis. It's just the truth. It's our human nature. So find a way to be consistent in your business, whether it's 1 minute doing a project for your business that takes 10 minutes, whether it's another day adding products, another day doing your email. And this does not have to take, if you don't have time. Of course, if you do have time, that's another story. But if you don't have a lot of time and you're working full time with a family, you can commit to 15 minutes a day to work on your business. And that's where you need to start. Figure out your schedule of where you can work on it, and not just like searching stuff on the internet, going into groups all the time and figure out what's going on. I'm talking about getting in the trenches and really applying things that are going to propel your business. So let's talk about 3 ways to increase your sales without advertising. So the first thing you need to do, and every business should be doing this, and I see many Etsy sellers not doing this because they don't know, is to set up your marketing platform. And we talk about that in my course that I just finished and I wrapped up, and I'm so proud of, and Sheila's on here now, and Sheila's already starting to see results, and that makes me so happy, because this is why I poured my heart into this, because I love inspiring others, and I see, the holes in the market where I can help and say, hey, do it this way, or I made a mistake, do it this way, or this is what I've learned from all the experience over the years. So get your marketing system going, and that is how you can automate sales. And if you're not familiar with a marketing system, that's exactly what it is. It's a system that you put together that you will know exactly what you are doing. Okay, so I'm going to send people to my Etsy shop. They're, maybe 5% or 2% are going to sign up to my email list. Then from there, I'm going to market them every week or every month with new promotions, new products. Guess what? Maybe 20% of your sales are going to come from that marketing system, maybe 50, maybe 70, maybe 90% of your sales will come from consistently building your list. Don't worry if it's small. Don't worry if you only have under 100 people, under 50 people. You need to start somewhere, and you will see how all of a sudden, 5 people, all of a sudden you've got 10, 20, 40, 100, then it starts to compound. So that is the number 1 thing. The number 2 thing, really important, consistency. Continually add products to your shop. If there's anything you can do for your shop to start creating immediate sales, is consistency in adding new products. Now, I know for some of you, you're creators, and it's just finding the time to create. But let me go back to when I started Beaded Tassel Company back in end of 2015. I committed to adding I think it was 1 product a day or something like that. I started with just like 7 or 10 products. And over time, because I committed to that consistency, I've grown. Now I'm back down to about 400 products, but I had 500 products at one time in my shop. Who's going to do that? Not your neighbor. You have to commit to doing that. So if you commit to doing that, not only is your product going to be more spread out and found out in the marketplace, it's also going to be found by Google and other places, because you have a presence. 20, 30, 50 products really isn't a presence on Etsy. You're getting there, you're working towards it, and that's great. But your goal, you've got to have hundreds of products on Etsy. Once you've established yourself, then you could scale back down and find just maybe it's 50 products that are selling. My advice is to get as many related products to your niche and to look cohesive as possible. When those products, let's say a year down the road, there's a lot that aren't selling, scale them back down. But I see shops that are super successful with 1,000, 2,000 products. Believe me, they're making sales just because they've got product. So really try to commit. If you do anything this week, commit to adding products. Don't worry about trying to find out different strategies. Commit to adding products. Okay, the third way to increase your sales. I have a little note here in case I forgot. Once you are established in your shop and you have consistent sales coming in, then you can add touch points. So what are touch points? Touch points are anywhere else out on the web or the marketplace or wherever that you will be showing your shop, where you will be appearing, your brand. And I only recommend this when you have your foundation laid, because then what happens is overwhelm. If our foundation is not laid, we don't know really what's selling, we're guessing what's selling, we haven't developed our true customer avatar, who are we selling to, we get overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you just feel like you want to quit. So my advice, again, Remember, the foundation needs to be built. Add like layers, and then add an Instagram. If you're already on Instagram, you know what? Like for instance, I'm going to give you another example. As I am growing Business Chic Mama, most of my energy is in this business now. I will be honest with you, my Etsy shop, I make consistent sales. I mean, last weekend was huge, this weekend slow, but I'm putting little to no energy into it because I see a different focus for my future. I want to teach people. That is my true passion. As much as I love, hey, Stephen, as much as I love, creating, and I will always create, my true calling is to be teaching, and that's where I'm focusing my energy. So that being said, my touch points, I'm on Instagram, but I've let that go for just a while. I started gaining a lot of followers. I haven't posted since Christmas because I realized if I started posting everywhere while I'm trying to create a course, trying to keep up with my Etsy shop, my fashion design business, and my Amazon business, and my Facebook Lives, I can't do it. This is where I need to get, my team involved, but that's, a whole nother story because my employees are really focused on my fashion business. I'm kind of going solopreneur when it comes to Business Chic Mama, and then going to add a team as I grow. So you get my point. Touch points, yes, they're great, but don't worry about them in the beginning, especially if you're just getting started. Then you could add all your links to your social media. Your social media will be another place to link your shops in. But again, automate those. There's a couple of apps called, one is Hootsuite, Buffer, and Social, I don't know, I've never heard of it, but I heard it's a good one. Social Sprout, I don't use it, but those 3 automation tools will automate all of your social media. So this way, when you are ready to go full force and be known out in the marketplace, once you're established, then you can automate your tweets. Everything is all in one platform. So you don't have to be like going onto Instagram, then going onto Facebook, then going onto Twitter, and any other social media platform that you may be on. And everything is there for you. So everything is about automating too. So that has already been 17 minutes. This is crazy how fast that went. Do you have any questions before I sign off? Any questions? You joined too late, Christina. That was 20 minutes ago, Christina. You're going to have to watch the replay. I was talking about how to make sales and what people are doing that are missing the boat, but watch the replay. I know, she's laughing. Okay, any questions at all? Anything that I covered? Anything that you want to know about? I know, Sheila, we have our meeting tomorrow, so we can discuss anything, any questions that you have. But Christina, next week. Okay, I'm going to sign off, but in the meantime, be inspired and be uncomfortable, because uncomfortable is good. Uncomfortable means you are growing, and everyone that stays safe is never going to get where they want to be. So I hope my words are inspiring to you guys, and just connect with me back on Facebook, on my blog, and thanks for the hearts. Love you guys. Okay, I'll see you guys next week now we have to come up with a new topic. So come up with a new topic for me, and I will dive into that. Okay, you guys have an awesome day. Talk to you later.